old question, I think, which comes up when you start off is, should you buy a course or shouldn't you? So my firm answer, unless someone can prove me otherwise, is that you don't. I personally didn't buy any course, but what I did do was find someone who did attend courses and just ask for their free materials. So I have the Astro training books, all the training books. I got Steve Morrow's training books and his TDI indicator, and Siam Kids training books as well. So I didn't pay for an actual course. And my firm stance is that you don't need to. But I want to quantify that and say, I want to qualify that and say it depends. So you have two options. The most likely is that most people who get involved or are starting out are young. I see that even with the people who are viewing these videos, is that they're usually young people. So the reason why I say you don't is because you have time on your hands. A course will cost you a lot, right? It will cost you thousands and thousands, and honestly, a lot of them aren't that great, and a lot of it isn't new knowledge. All that knowledge which is being sold, you can get on the internet. It's everywhere. It's in books. It's in the internet. They didn't create anything. So my point is that you're going to know that knowledge, even if it takes you 3 to 5 years. You're going to figure out that knowledge one way or another. Whether it's today, whether it's 3 years from now, 5 years from now, you're going to acquire that knowledge. Whether it's through hard lessons or learning for yourself, you're going to acquire that knowledge. So I was saying to Puleng that, like, if you have the money, you can buy it. But honestly, if you reserve 3 to 5 years for yourself, you acquire whatever knowledge that's in those books, in those videos. It's stuff you will acquire over time. If you don't have the money, I don't think you should stress about acquiring the money and that you're missing out. And so a lot of the times, people who are selling courses will make you feel like you're missing out if you don't pay their course. And so you start to panic and wonder if you have. And the problem also is that if you have money and you spend it on a course, a lot of the times with what I've seen is that you won't have money to start your account off with a healthy balance. So you have one of two options. Either you put all your money into your course, or you save that money to start off with a healthy balance, which I think is more important, to sort of save up while you're learning for 3 to 5 years. Save up so you start off with a healthy balance. That's just my opinion, first of all. And then, second of all, what I noticed is that a lot of people who do teach the courses acquired their knowledge over time. It's very rare, and you'll find out even from educators. If you ask them, they'll tell you, I'm self educated, I did not pay for a course. So it's quite contradictory that they are selling courses yet they didn't attend one. So I'm just saying, think it for yourself. If the educator didn't attend a course, why would you want to attend a course? Now, if you have less time on your hands and you do have the money, I would say go attend a course. It's better if you have the money, you have less time, you can attend the course. Problem is, a lot, like I said, a lot of the stuff is free. You will find it over time. You will gain the knowledge over time, and it's somewhere online. Like, there's so many books that I'm going to recommend, so it's somewhere online. I don't think you have to pay that much for the course, especially since the person's self-educated. And what you'll sort of learn is that since the educator usually isn't someone who's currently trading the markets, because all of their time and money is coming from the courses and not for themselves actually trading, you'll find that since they spend all of their times trading, they won't have as much experience and actual knowledge of what's actually going on. So a lot of the time, strategies do get outdated. So if you're learning from someone who isn't currently trading, but who's teaching a course and who's not actually actively trading, you'll find that a lot of their strategies are outdated and they don't work. Markets always shift. 3, 5 years, 10 years, they're always shifting. So the same strategy won't work. And I've also noticed that a lot of the time, self-taught are better than course attenders. And it's not because there's something wrong with all the courses, even though a lot of them are just they're not that important. To be honest, you need a simple strategy. You don't need something complicated. I learned this from Way of the Turtle, the book, and this is one of the best traders, by the way, in the world. He trains for 2 weeks only. 2 weeks, that's it. And actually, he reduced at the end of the book, while I was reading it, he reduced that training to actually 1 week, 7 days. That's it. And if it takes you longer than that, to learn a simple strategy which is profitable and back tested, you might want to find out what the problem actually is. Because sometimes there's an issue between you and maybe the style of trading which doesn't work to you, or there's something you're not quite understanding. And so when I say that self-taught are better, I mean to say simply that it's easier to learn how to swim by actually swimming than reading how to swim. That analogy works perfectly because with swimming, you're actually learning firsthand. You're learning how the markets actually move, which pairs are better suited for you, which ones are too volatile, what strategy works and what doesn't. And so you'll find that even if someone keeps telling you risk management is important, unless you actually go out for yourself and you blow an account and then you actually see why risk management is important. No matter how which educator will yell to you, and I know this from experience, where I'll yell to someone like the same thing 7 8 times, they won't get it until they've actually made the mistake and learned from themselves. So that's just my point on that. um okay, oh yeah, I think I've mentioned a lot of these points. You need skin in the game. You won't become profitable by someone teaching you without you actually practicing and practicing and practicing. And you'll also find that if you do rely on something like signals, you're not going to learn from signals. So if you're going to replace a course with the signals, you're not in much better off. So if you think that you have money for signals but not for a course, you're actually worse off. Don't You'd rather just go in by yourself without the signals. Um, I said if you're going to be self taught, don't try learn and master everything. I think that's a point that someone should have told me in the beginning. Because when I started off, I wanted to learn everything in every book. I wanted to master every single thing. I wanted to master MACD, MACC, everything, like absolutely everything. And the problem with that is number one, you're not going to learn everything. You don't have time to learn everything, and actually, less is better. If you trade simple, KISS, which is keep it simple. If you learned some simple strategy, which is consistently profitable, you're better off than trying to learn everything. If you try to learn everything, you're not going to finish. You're not going to learn everything. It's just impossible. And too much will actually hurt you. So if you're doing everything, you have like 7 indicators, 7 different strategies, 7 different things, it just ends up being a disaster. And don't look for a perfect strategy. If you're going to self teach yourself, don't look for a perfect strategy. And I've always said that if you look at the most consistently profitable, they have a very low win rate, and usually around 35 to 45. The higher the win rate, actually, the less profitable. I've seen people with like 72% win rates blowing accounts. Number one, because they're overconfident with their systems, and because risk management goes out their way. They think that because you have a high win rate, you're going to be more profitable. So don't look for a perfect strategy. Look for one which is at least with a win rate of at least 35%. That's all you need. Win rate of 35%, highly profitable, high risk to reward, and that's pretty much all you need. And so low win rate and a high profitability is what you should be looking for. Anything with a 90% win rate like really doesn't matter, and actually will do more harm than good.